What's up everybody, Jaxxsin here, and I just got a video today I wanted to do talking about the Division beta and whether or not it'll help sell copies of the Division. Okay, first and foremost, let me get into this first. This isn't a beta, okay, and I'm gonna equate this to the same thing that Battlefront was, which is they called it a beta. You know, it was fucking way too late in the fucking development process for them to make any effective changes. Maybe their servers they could tweak a little bit, but at that point, you know, beta to me implies that there's going to be heavy developmental changes to the game afterwards, fixing any errors and things like that. This felt like a finished copy of a game to me. Like, this felt what was going to be, this felt like a demo that you download to see if you want to buy a game. Okay, so I'm gonna call this thing a demo. It's not a beta. I don't think the Battlefront beta was a beta. Battlefront beta came out, man, and there was like, you know, people were bitching about the spawn points. People were bitching about, you know, like a ton of stuff. The vehicles, like stuff like they were saying it felt too, you know, like Call of Duty friendly. You know what I mean? Like people were, and nothing was changed, right? Nothing was changed. The spawn points weren't fixed. The spawn points in that game are still crazy stupid on most of those maps. You know what I mean? So can they really call that a beta since they're not doing any changes to the game? I don't think they can, but this is just my opinion, of course. And they may be making some changes, which I hope they are, because based on my experience with this game, it did not sell me on this game. If this was a demo that was meant to sell me on this game, which I believe it was, I mean, they had pre-order things popping up in the main game, you know, like at the base. You'd go to do something, it would say, would you like to pre-order Tom Clancy's The Division now? You know what I mean? If that shit's popping up on my screen, then I don't feel like this can be called a beta. I feel like this can be called a marketing tool meant to help sell the game because you don't have enough pre-orders. Okay, now I'm gonna get into this. First things first, shout out to my buddy Tyler, who fucking has played all of the Tom Clancy games. He loves them. He's, you know, he loves this type of gameplay. He loves the strategic, you know, like team-based cover shooting that you have to, you know, y'all have to work together and shit. He loves it. I asked him what he thought about the Division. I want to tell you real, like, quick, short version of what he thought about it, and I'm gonna get into the things I liked and the things that I thought were just fucking stupid. Okay, he said that it did not bring anything new to the table. He was like, it looks good, yes, but it doesn't really bring anything new to the table, to the genre. He said it felt like it was just the same sort of shooting, and he said also that it felt a little floaty with the aiming and shooting and the movement. He just said it felt a little floaty. And he said that he won't be getting it. He's like, just get Rainbow Six, dude, or I can't remember what current one he's playing right now, but he's like, it's better, you know, and it's older, but it's better. He's like, get it. And so that's what he has. That's what he thinks. That's what he has to say. Now I'm gonna get into what I liked about it and what I didn't like. What did I like? Okay, I like the concept about the PvP. I did like this. How you go, your squad goes into the dead zone, and you can either decide to work with the friendly, you know, because so any other player character within that zone will be gray, and you at any time you can shoot them, and if you do and you do enough damage, you're gonna be marked as rogue. And at that point, all agents, so that's all, you know, all player characters in the area will target you and your squad. That's who's going to be marked as rogue, and so that's how the PvP works. So if you want a PvP, it's as simple as going out there, you know, getting a sucker kill on somebody, marking your whole team as rogue, and then all of you, it's all of you versus all the other player characters there. Unless some of them went rogue, but if some of them went rogue, they're still enemies to you. So it's very chaotic and crazy. I like it. It reminds me of kind of, and it's free roam. That's where you get your best loot, I'm told. And so, I mean, it's pretty cool, man. I like it. I felt like that was something new and unique about PvP that I kind of dug. Now, my bitches about it. I'm going to start with the PvE now. The PvE side of things, the PvE was very dull, very boring. It was very grindy. Okay, so the beta, the max level in the beta was level 8. And me and my brother Chubbs, we did every mission, and we even repeated a couple, and we were still level 7. And that was with if we saw an encounter out there, which is just like, I don't know. It felt like it was trying to be like Destiny, but there wasn't even as much fucking enemy density as in Destiny, where even if they're level 5s or whatever, and it doesn't matter, you can just sit there and kill them, you know, they're there, they're gonna spawn there, there's enemies, there just wasn't enemies. and there wasn't really much to do. You were just kind of running. And yes, the cityscape is very good looking, and this is a very good looking game. There's a, you know, it's definitely graphically, it's pushing the limits, you know, it looks real good. Okay, don't get me wrong, but it's just, there wasn't a whole lot going on. The Dark Zone felt like it was where it was at, but the problem with the Dark Zone is my friend Gibbs, who I was playing with, I couldn't do the Dark Zone with him because he was level 8. And so we kept trying to hit level 8, dude, and we did all this shit and it still wasn't happening. And by then we were just bored of it. So I was like, my buddy Gibbs just straight got off. My brother Exempt had gotten off way earlier. Me and my brother Chubbs, I was like, let's just go do one last little stint in the dead zone. And then we'll see, you know, how, you know, if we're fucking, you know, if we're done and we're done, you know. And when we got done with it, we were just like, yeah, that was fun. But I mean, really, you get fucked up really fast. I mean, there's a definite skill gap. So if you're not very good at this style of game, get ready for a learning curve. You will get fucked up if someone is good at this game. There is a skill gap. So PvP is definitely competitive. It's very competitive. You're gonna have to be good at this third person behind the shoulder shooting. You're gonna have to get down the recoil of your gun so you can hit accurate headshots. It's definitely, you will get rolled if you are unprepared in this PvP. Which, you know, if you love PvP and you like this style of game, this might be your game for this reason, because this PvP is very unique. You know what I mean? I'd say that the PvP is heavily the selling point. But the problem with that is that you're going to have to do the PvE in order to level up, because in the Dark Zone you have a different level, right? So you're going to have a whole different level in the Dark Zone than you are in the PvE zone. So you're going to want to level up so you can, I don't know, man. It feels like it's I don't know. I felt like it was mediocre and boring outside of the PvP for sure. Because like I said, we did all of the missions in the game and we even repeated a couple on hard and we still couldn't hit level 8. And the missions on hard were fucking, go figure, they were really hard, but they run off the same basic fucking mentality as Destiny, in the sense that the AI isn't any smarter, it's just more aggressive, it has more health, it has shields, and it's gonna hit you twice as hard as on regular, right? But you're gonna have to do that if you want to get the XP, because I felt like it was grindy with what they had available in the beta. And like I said, there might be a lot more available in the fucking when it ships, but I don't expect this game to change a whole lot. So at most they'll be unlocking more missions to do in that starting area, which I don't know why you wouldn't just have the whole starting area kind of, you know, if you're letting me get to 8. It felt like it was kind of, let's just say, if this was meant to sell people on this game, I think it may have fallen short with a lot of people, because I mean, I felt it was boring. I talked to several friends, they all said it was boring. My buddy Cockalorum was playing it and he was like, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. And I was like, let's play Smite. And the second we started playing Smite, he was like, wow, I'm not as tired. And I was like, I'm telling you, it's boring. So even he had that experience where he just felt like this was boring and bland. And I mean, there's no enemies. There's nothing going on. There's like these encounters, which are kind of like your fucking world events or whatever, where you gotta go and like fight people and it'll say, you know, kill these people and grab something, and then you pick up something and you take it and then you're done. And you get like just a little amount of XP for these encounters. They're not that fun. They're not that interesting. The missions are not that fun. The missions really aren't that interesting. Like it felt like it was trying so hard to reach the widest possible audience. Okay, because look, okay, here's the thing. This goes back to what I've been saying for a while now, and that is that with a game like Destiny becoming so popular and so financially successful, you're gonna see other games trying to copy that success. Okay, and that's exactly what Tom Clancy's The Division does. It gives you 2 active cooldown skills. It gives you a skill tree that you unlock through base building, like Phantom Pain. Okay, where you build your base, and that's when you unlock new skills and access new things for your character while you're out in the field. Okay, it felt like you DE weapons, so you can, you take part weapons so you can get weapon parts, you can build it, you know what I mean? It felt like, and this is the Blizzard model first, but this was more akin to Destiny. It felt like it was more, I mean, the color coding was the same, except for there was, you know, white, green, blue. I didn't see a purple, but I've been told that there are yellow guns in the game. So it's like, okay, well, there's all your weapons, exotics, you know, whatever. And you add mods to these, which is basically you just add other things that you get from drops, like, you know, grips, things like that. So it's less interesting and a little less dynamic than Destiny. As far as I could tell, there wasn't much, you know, like your weapon would have like a special ability if it was like blue or green. Like it might say, for instance, it might say, you know, you can fucking every time you get a kill with this weapon, it increases damage, critical hit damage for fucking 30 seconds or something, right? Skills that read like that. Skills that read kind of like skills off guns on Destiny. So I felt like this was getting the Destiny touch over to try to appeal to the Destiny audience, to try to get them. So I've got it. So now I'm going to change the question from, will the Battlefront, or the fucking Battlefront, will the Tom Clancy's Division beta, in quotations, be able to sell to the Destiny crowd, right? Is this a good alternative to Destiny? Okay, well, first thing I'm going to tell you is there's no platforming, right? So that's a whole element of Destiny that you don't have in this game. Like, you can't jump, you can't, you know, mount stuff. You can mount smaller objects and go over it and then drop down, but if you get up on too high of an object, it won't let you drop down. Where I found this instance where I needed to just jump off this wall in order to catch up to my brother real quick, and it wouldn't let me just drop down. So I had to run all the way back down through this fucking thing, up through, it's elaborate as fuck, all the way to get to him, or just fast travel, right? So, you know, and the fast travel takes a little bit too long, in my opinion. And you have to hear, like, all you hear is like your character's feet shuffling and the whole time, and it's just like, is it bugged out? Is it broken? Because that sounds like a bugged, like, you know, one sound and then it just repeated itself. It wasn't that, I don't know, pleasant of a, you know, if you're gonna be fast traveling a lot, guys, because like I said, there's not a whole lot going on. Right, every now and then in the main area mode, you might find, like, you know, a couple of guys that you'll be able to kill no problem real fast, right? And it, you know, other than that, it's a whole lot of just running and looking, you know what I mean? Until you get to the mission area, you enter the mission, you know, and then you fight, you know, X amount of guys that come from the same place, and you're gonna have to probably repeat those missions, okay? So if you're not into PvP and you play Destiny for the PvE, is this going to sell you on this game? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Because I think a lot of what keeps people grinding the horrible game that Destiny is, and the just like the awful fucking structure of it, with the drop rates and everything, I think what keeps people playing that is the gameplay. Like, straight up, it's the smooth shooting, it's the pro platforming, it's the fucking, you know, jump puzzles, it's, you know, the raids. All right, now are you gonna get that kind of stuff in this? There's no reason to believe that you will get anything like that in this game. Okay, there's no reason for you to believe that. I wouldn't expect it. Because the simple fact is that, I mean, there's no platforming, there's no, I mean, so, like I said about the missions, they felt kind of bland, they felt like, you know, you cover, shoot. Now, if you like that style of gameplay, if you love, you know, the cover-based shooting of a Tom Clancy game, and you love the grinding and, you know, leveling system, seemingly, of a Destiny, then you might like this game. And if you have 3 friends who also like those things, then you might love this game, and they might love this game. Me personally, I don't think it didn't sell me on it. And everyone I talked to, it didn't sell them on it. That, like I said, my buddy Tyler, who has played these Tom Clancy games, all of them, you know, I see him playing the Siege 6. He plays these games a lot, and he was like, you know, doesn't bring anything new, floaty, you know, he's like, I was bored, you know what I mean? And I couldn't disagree with him, and I couldn't tell him he was wrong, because, you know, I haven't played all those games, so, like, to me it may have felt unique in the shooting, but at the same time, like, I was not that good at it, and I didn't much like it. I like the first person, you know what I mean? I've never played like a third person over the head shooter that I've actually enjoyed that much. And So for me, this game did not sell me on it. The people I talked to, they were like, no. Like my brother exempt, he quit straight up, like right out of the gate. He was like, I'm done. I don't want to play this game anymore. He didn't like it at all. And you know, so I hope you guys got a chance to play it. Now I'm gonna get into for the second half of this video. I want to talk about this beta thing and why we need to understand, as a community, as gaming people, as people who play video games, we need to understand the difference between a beta and a fucking demo. And I'm not doing this to just be a dick or whatever to drive a point home. I'm doing it because you may not understand this, and I want to explain it. So a beta is, when I hear the term beta, I take that into consideration that they are changing aspects of that game. That game that I'm playing is definitely going to be different when I get to it. You know what I mean? And there's differences. There's technical tests, which is, they're them straight up saying this is to test our servers, to stress test, see if we can keep people in game, see if we can match queues, see if we can get this going, right? And then there's the beta, which is an actual, the game is still in development and it's still going to undergo development. I mean, this game ships in March, right? So how much development can it undergo, and how much are they actually going to fix? So maybe they were doing it to stress test their servers, I don't know. But if they were doing it to stress test their servers, then they should have called it a network stress test or a technical test or something of that nature, not a beta, okay? But you understand that the reason they use the term beta is because it's casual friendly. It makes people feel like they're part of something exclusive. It makes them feel like, oh, I'm getting early access to a game. It makes people feel special, right? And if people feel special, like you were so nice to let them play your game before it was even released, you know what I mean? They're more likely to buy your game, right? And I mean, in the case of Battlefront, I don't know, man, like why. I mean, maybe it was because they didn't have enough pre-orders. I don't think so, because Battlefront was gonna sell a shitload anyway. It was Star Wars coinciding with the fucking Star Wars movie, you know what I mean? Like, obviously that game was gonna sell, but there was nothing different. Okay, so we know that one for sure wasn't a beta, and it would be my bet and my best guess that there won't be anything different with this, what you play here and what comes out, except for maybe there'll be more quests that you can do in that starting area. All right, but that's not really that you changed that or added that. That's there. You just have it locked off for your demo, which is what this game should have been called. I mean, this game is clearly a demo. It feels exactly like a demo that you would download and play on fucking, to see if you want to buy a game. See if you want to buy that game, you want to spend your money on that game, let me see what it plays like. That's what it feels like, and that's what I feel like they should call it. Because if they keep calling these things betas, then people are going to get confused about betas. And then they're going to be able to lie a little bit easier to people, because people are educated and they don't understand how these things work. So they're going to be able to lie and say, oh, well, this is a beta and you're getting exclusive access to it. Nothing changes. Okay. And it goes to the more the marketing side of the industry, where like they have these focus groups and they fucking, you know what I mean? And these are the fucking people that are just the ones back there. They want to make as much money as possible. These are the ones that have been ruining movies in Hollywood for fucking years, dude, and they're starting to ruin video games. And you can tell because this game feels like a game that was trying to be what it is, but bring in the aspects of every popular selling game of 2015, right? It looks like a group of people were sitting there saying, we need these things. They like these things. We need this thing because they like this thing and this thing. There's emotes, it feels like that. The 2 cooldowns, it feels like they're trying to make it comfortable to the Destiny crowd to try to, because Destiny was so financially successful. You know what I mean? Destiny's cleaning fucking house. All right, so why not try to copy its success? Because copying something else's success without using their gameplay that makes it even, say what you will about Destiny, the gameplay in Destiny is solid as fuck. The shooting is solid, it's smooth, the jumping, the platforming, it's smooth, it's fucking great, right? Now, the thing about Destiny that made it so popular, I feel like, was that. because it makes that game entertaining to grind. In a losing system, a slot machine that's only ever taking your nickels and never giving you anything in return, right? It feels fun and pleasant to play Destiny because of the platforming, because of the jumping, because of the shooting, because of the, you know, the leveling system and the way, you know, this one there was like, you got a few basic skills as you unlocked areas in your base. Which tells me if you're going to want skills, you're going to be forced to do PvP, or PvE, I mean. And PvE was not that fun. It was a whole lot of just stay in cover and shoot, stay in cover and shoot, stay in cover and shoot, reload, stay in cover and reshoot, stay in cover and shoot. You know, was it boring? I felt like it was. It felt monotonous after a while, after doing those 2 missions on hard that we had to set on hard because we hadn't hit level 8 and we just wanted to hit level 8. We wanted to do everything and we couldn't. And these missions took so long because on hard they had these massive shields that would just soak up all this health, and they dealt so much damage, and they were super aggressive, and they were constantly pushing us in our positions and killing us, and it was driving us fucking nuts. So, you know, if you're gonna have to do the PvE, you know what I mean? And the only aspects of Destiny really are your loot drops and your 2 cooldown skills, and, you know, like, I mean, other than that, it's just, it feels like a third-person shooter, but it feels like a third-person shooter trying to be a fucking RPG. You know what I mean? That's what they say. They put an emphasis on that. They say, we want this to be an RPG first. And that's such a bad idea, because this is not a good RPG, all right? Adding the loot system and adding weapons that you DE and fucking, you know, that you grind for, and adding like grindy systems to a game doesn't an RPG make, okay? RPG is role-playing game. What role am I playing? I'm playing the role of the dude who wants to get the fucking loot, okay? So you can call it a fucking, you know, they need to come up with a different name for these. These aren't RPGs. Destiny isn't an RPG, okay? Any more so than fucking Diablo is a fucking RPG, alright? Diablo 3 is not an RPG. You don't play that game to fucking roleplay, alright? There's quests in it, yes. But you play that game to get the loot, to, you know, try out builds with your gear. You know what I mean? That's why you play that game. It's a loot game. It's a loot-based game, alright? And that's what they're trying to do with this, but they're trying to call it an RPG because, once again, just like beta, I think that these things test better in fucking focus groups. I think that you say a grind loot based game and they're like, no, they're immediately turned off. But if you say RPG, everyone's like, oh, RPG, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. I will play an RPG because I fucking love RPGs, all right? But these games that you're grinding to get loot and stuff like that are not RPGs. They're not, all right? Destiny, admittedly, could be considered more of an RPG than most because, you know, there is a story to it, but you have to look it up online to read it. Right? And that's why I'd still not call it an RPG, because the story doesn't present itself properly in the game. It never did. So the reason you were playing that game in the beginning wasn't because you were role-playing in this world and being part of this story. It was because you wanted to get the more fucking gold exotics, right? You wanted to get the loot, okay? And this game falls far short of any mark that Destiny has made. You know, like this, you know, Destiny, despite all its bullshit, despite all the lies involved in the company behind that game, the publisher and the developer behind that game, despite everything, the shooting in that game is solid as fuck, and the gameplay is fun, okay? It's fun, it's entertaining, just like with Diablo. It's what keeps people playing. If you don't enjoy the style of game to get that gear, you're not going to give a fuck about getting that gear, right? You're just not. All right, so this is the Tom Clancy fan who wants a Diablo-style Tom Clancy game. This is his game. Now, does that sell it to everyone who played this beta? Is everyone going to get this? I don't think so. I really don't think so, because I think that that's a niche crowd, and they fucked up there. They made it for a niche audience. They made it for the people who want to play, you know, like the Tom Clancy games with the Diablo fucking Destiny formula of getting loot drops, RNG, that sort of shit, right? And I don't think that that's a mass audience. I don't think that's a mass audience. I feel like that is a definite niche group. So will this sell games? Yes. Will this beta, quotations, help sell games? I really don't think so. Everyone I talked to, like I said, that played it was less than impressed. I personally was less than impressed. I was so bored of it. I was, my brother exempt. I heard him over there and his TV was playing Rocket League music, and I wanted to play fucking Rocket League. That's all this game made me want to do, was play something else. I was just like, and it was just, it felt thin. It felt like there was a lot of running through environments. Very pretty environments. Don't get me wrong. Very pretty, well done environments. But, like in Diablo, you constantly kill shit. In Destiny, you're constantly killing shit. Like, that needs to be the point of the game, is action. And this game didn't feel very action-y outside of missions. It didn't feel action-y outside of the dark zone. And that's going to be shitty, because that's going to take up a large place of your game, is running around to level up your character to access those skills later on. I don't know, guys. You let me know what you thought. Did you guys play this? Did it sell you guys on this? Like, do you guys think you're going to be buying this? I mean, me personally, I won't be getting it. I know that most of my friends won't be getting it. This isn't the game that we've been wanting, or the game that we've been needing, like, we're not part of that niche group that wants a Diablo-style Tom Clancy game. Anyway, guys, let me know if you're one of those people. If you are, word, dude, like, no fucking shit talking. Like, if that's what you've been looking for, man, this is it for you. And they do it quite well. And, anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Hope you enjoyed this video. Keep being fucking excellent to each other, dudes, and never forget that time travel is only possible through phone booths and stuff of that nature.